Hello. They have inexplicably not sprayed chemtrails on nice, clear, sunny days for about 3 days now. So the police have been able to go out and patrol. Of course I got a ticket. But there's these other planes. I hear one coming right now. Probably hear it after this car goes by. In the last 10 minutes, there's been like 5 jets and 3 or 4 airplanes. All fly over at low elevation, right over behind my house. Over a lot of other people's houses too, but apparently I'm the only one who wonders why 300 small planes a night fly over my house at low elevation every single night. Especially the propellered ones. I mean, I've seen some of these planes and some of the small jets. I've seen them fly in circles over the city. Just fly around in circles. Real low, real slow. And what I've started to put together now is that on quite a few of these, there are propeller planes and there are small jets. And these ones that don't seem to be going anywhere, and there's no reason for them to really be flying around like that in these huge, like literally redonkulous fucking numbers. As my ears ring, but not really my ears, it's my head rings. Like my temporal lobes are being heated up by some sort of, I don't know, microwave radiation of some sort, and it's establishing a carrier wave with my skull, let's say. I don't even know if that's possible. I guess maybe people could Google it. No, it is possible, and that's how it works. And when this carrier wave is established, the person who it's been established with will hear ringing in their ears. And it doesn't mean that any messages are being transmitted to your brain right then. It just means that the carrier wave is working. Microwaves can do all kinds of things that people, I guess, can't seem to grasp. You know, your emotions can be manipulated by the strength and intensity and frequency of microwave fields around you. And our cell phone towers are now like at street level. Over in Orchards, there's a huge cell phone array. It looks like one of them that would be up on a 200-foot tall tower, but it's right on top of the Chevron station in Orchards, about 40 feet above the Chevron station. And there's a hill right next to it with houses and apartments going up it, and it's pointed directly at them, like 2 blocks from it. This huge cell tower pointed directly at these apartments. I'm just thinking, that can't be good for the people that live there. I know they're not, directional antennas per se, but when you're in close proximity to a high-powered output antenna, you're getting beamed, whether you like it or not. Yeah, these planes will fly over and they just round and around and over and over and over and over. Guess they took a little break now. I turn on the camera right when they pause. Well, it's only been a couple minutes. And my ears ring. I hear one coming. The jet should be flying over your house continuously, That's how you know that the terrorists didn't win. See, if the terrorists win, then they have to ground all the airplanes, and the global dimming becomes apparent because of the brown air as a result of the jets not traveling, and see, the sun's brighter and that proves global warming. Vote Republican and buy guns. Oh my God. You know what? Guns and gun nuts, you guys are fucking retards. You will never ever have a showdown with the government over your fucking guns, you douche nozzle fucks. Really? They're spraying poison out of jumbo jets on top of you and your whole fucking family, and you don't even have the guts to acknowledge it's happening, or you don't have the brains. And if you lack either one of those two things, you can't do anything about anything to fucking begin with. You're just a blowhard talking out your ass. I like guns, boom boom. Look how powerful I am, boom boom. Oh, where's my inhaler? Yeah, you're gonna stand up to the government. Sure you are. No, I'm standing up to the government. I got more balls in my fucking little pinky finger right here that you can't see because it's dark than the fucking whole NRA's got in its whole fucking NR nothing. You guys are fucking idiots. Wake up, you're being poisoned to death. You cannot stockpile guns and ammo and then fight against the poison that they gave you, you know, over the course of 10 years and are still giving you. You have to admit and acknowledge, you know, what the weapon is being used against you before you can fight against it or protect yourself against it. That's pretty simple logic. I shouldn't have to explain this type of stuff to people who are supposedly, you know, educated and intelligent Americans who know what the con in Constitution means and got their guns at hand, because that's what it's all about, right? Because only guns keep you safe. You know, you don't need clean water, clean air, or a food supply that's healthy. You don't need any of those things. All you need is guns. That's right. I think the Beatles made a song about it. All you need is guns. Bang, 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 bang. All you need is guns. Wah, 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 wah. All you need is guns. Guns. Guns are all you need. There's nothing you can know that can't be blown. Oh, anyway. I have an idea, gun owners. If you really think that your weapons are necessary, you know you can get the same amount of blast pressure, muzzle velocity, from a tiny amount of acetylene and oxygen ignited in a small chamber as you can a tiny amount of gunpowder in a small chamber. And you don't have to build cartridges for the oxygen acetylene. You just need the projectiles. That would be a lot easier than carrying a bunch of bullets around that have to have gunpowder in them that's made in a factory, in brass that's made in a factory, that are owned by corporations, that are regulated by the government, just like everything in this country is regulated by the government. Here's a little clue, everyone. If everything in your country has to have a permit and be regulated by the government, it may as well be owned by the government, because all the profits from it are going to go to the government in the form of taxes, and what it can and can't do, what its owners can and can't say about what is real and what is not real, is completely controlled by who? Oh, our wonderful, benevolent government of law. Rule of law, you know, like where what's her name, Lucy Lynch, Laura Lynch, whatever, that Lynch gal that's like evading and sidestepping every question, direct, obvious question with an answer that she's supposed to know because it's her job, and she won't even answer simple questions. But for some reason, she's not getting arrested. Hey, look at that fag up there, you know? No, fuck you, airplane faggot. Ah, there's another one. Okay, we're getting a couple come across here. We got one going north to south. He is 3,500 feet. A couple white lights and a flasher. We've got coming from the southeast at about 3,000 feet. Strobing white lights and red strobing lights as well. I think my ears are ringing a little bit. Yeah, I mention this because I can prove, verify, and I have witnesses that will put their face on camera and attest to the fact that I have in front of them, much to their annoyance, predicted accurately the coming of small planes and small jets at low elevation that fly over this place. Oh, here comes number 3 in the same, he's down at about 2,500 feet. Got the red and the green. That's the one that's making my ears ring right fucking there. Okay, anyway, I have accurately predicted these planes 20 seconds to a minute before they're audible from their, jet or propeller sounds. Well, I've done it 100 times, but I've done it with people that with me 10, 15 times in a row. Out of 15 times, 100% accuracy. When you can predict something like that, you say, here comes the plane because my ears are ringing, which really means my temporal lobes are ringing, which really means I'm being microwaved by some sort of high-powered RF radiation. Isn't that cool? Nobody will believe it's happening. They'll say, oh, there's something wrong with your brain. You got tinnitus. You got to go to the doctor and get an inhaler. And then everything's okay. Yeah. The green and the red. See, these planes don't always fly, but when there's not chemtrails, they fly quite regularly. I used to have a theory that these were like the monitor planes, because they run grids at different elevations and they intersect each other. The same kind of plane, just at different heights, making grids over the city. And there's always one going over my house. That they were, real-time monitoring everybody's movement on the ground. Because it's important that the government knows whether or not you open your back door and take a piss. See, that kind of statistical information is what keeps us safe from the terrorists. We gotta know if you move your mouse pointer on your computer 1/2 of an inch and hover over a thumbnail or another thumbnail, or perhaps you were thinking about clicking an ad, you would hover over that. See, Google needs to know that, and they need to know it as it happens, not in intervals of a minute or 2 minutes at a time, because that's too long to wait for Google to know whether or not you hovered over something. See, Google needs to know in real time. So you need to no longer have your Windows XP supported, because it doesn't do that for Google. And now that it's gone, then you got to get your newer, faster computer, because Google's fucking sucking up all the bandwidth, refreshing your browser continuously to see if you moved your mouse. Did anybody notice that the browser went from, oh, it loads and loads and loads and then plays, and as long as it's loaded, it plays all right, to, oh, it loads and loads and looks as if it's loaded, but it still glitches and hangs up and then says an error has occurred. And, oh, thanks, Google, you're really making the internet better. And you can't copy and paste in links, but you know, who wants to communicate with the internet? And what would YouTube want to allow you to, you know, communicate with other YouTube users? And you know, video response button? What's that? But I digress. Google needs to know in real time. You got satellites, airplanes. Google may as well just run all the governments of the world at this point. Not all the governments, I should say. The United States, Canada, Mexico, Western Europe, and Australia, though, yeah, Google runs those ones. The ones with the biggest, most technical militaries. Because, you know, Google's gotta know. So, who owns Google? Hey, there's the Google star. It's very dim tonight, but I do see it now. They got it over there. There's the moon, so it's gonna be... but probably... I'm not... Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. It's so nice being able to breathe the air. They haven't sprayed chemtrails for 3 days. Wow. That's amazing. Obama must be coming to town. That's the only time that it's sunny, blue skies, and there's no chemtrails. Because the instant that the rain is letting up and is going to stop, they start to spray on the other side of the clouds. And they don't stop spraying until the rain has forced its way in, and it's going to rain no matter what. That's how much America loves you. In a bad economy, too. And airplanes flying around with high-powered microwave antennas pointed at the ground, establishing carrier waves with people's temporal lobes. Yeah, that's probably good for people whose bodies are completely inundated with aluminum, barium, and strontium. Oh, by the way, barium and strontium were used inside of radio valves, otherwise known as vacuum tubes, for the plate and the gate and the emitter. It's kind of like a transistor in a way, but anyway, vacuum tubes would use them to coat the components so that they more readily emitted and collected the electrons that were from the heating element in the vacuum tube, which is what gives it its ability to rectify and all that good stuff and amplify. But when I heard that on this old-timey black and white show I'm watching, I was thinking, why would they spray it on us in a nano gas for us to breathe in? At first I thought it was, you know, record information, because barium is on your credit card swiper. It's what records your credit card number. So a body full of barium could potentially have numerical imprints encoded on it, like in your body. You could walk by a scanner, the scanner goes, and the barium takes a certain shape, and then that number is scanned into your body. You know, another reader can read it. It's conceivable. I don't know if that's what it's for, right? It's just a thought. But then I saw this thing on the tubes, like, oh, okay, so we're inside this HARP, this cell phone grid, this digital, you know, grid for our smartphones. And, you know, they know where your phone is at all times. It's in a grid. It's, you know, you move north, south, east, or west, even up or down, and it knows it. So an RFID works by emitting some energy and it's bounced back off of the RFID at a certain frequency, and that tells you, correlates to what the RFID is tagged for. That's pretty simple to understand. Well, your body is a certain shape. Your skull has a resonant cavity. That's your skull is a resonant cavity, and your temporal lobes will heat up if the frequency of your resonant cavity is being, amplified and put out there. So why not? Why not send planes around and microwave people's skulls continuously? I don't know. Anyway, that's it.